Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the NGS headline because at the time of this recording, it just ended, and Sega did throw a couple curveballs that did surprise me. But before we jump into the rest of the video, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to talk about is this new survival mode. So they basically added in this sort of time attack meets horde mode / survival mode, where you have a certain time limit to kill each wave of enemies, and there's a total of 6 waves of enemies in normal mode. However, there is also an advanced mode or a hard mode where there are up to 10 waves of enemies, or at least that's what we see from the footage. And so this is a really cool concept, and in between each of these waves there are actually power-ups that you can actually pick up in order to empower certain abilities, give you more crit chance, give you more damage, give you more movement speed, so forth and so on. It's very similar to Lucille Exploration, where there are all of these different power-ups that you can pick up. So I'm definitely going to be trying this out. Now do keep in mind that this is limited to 4 players, so you can't go in with like a 32-man group or whatever. It is limited to 4 players. It is treated a little bit like a regular quest, so you do need to go to the quest counter in order to queue up for this. However, this is not a limited time thing. This is a permanent addition to the game, so I'm very happy to see this. And the reason why they separate like an easy mode and a hard mode is because they want to test the waters and see how people like it, and we are going to be giving them feedback. If we like it, then we say we like it. If we don't like it, then we say what we don't like, and they will tweak things and fix things along those lines. So the reason why they came out with this game mode to begin with was based off a lot of our feedback from a lot of our regular limited time quests, as well as from the Duel quests themselves. And so this is the final result of all the feedback that we gave them from those different game modes. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be super excited to try this because this comes out on March 6th. Now, the next piece of content I want to go over is, of course, this seasonal event. It is going to be spring 2024. It's more or less a rehash of last year's spring event of spring 2023. However, we are getting scenery changes for Central City as well as Kavaris, but I do believe that in order to farm up seasonal points, you're probably limited to Kavaris. I'm not entirely sure about that part on where you can farm the seasonal points, but they didn't say Alio and Kavaris. They specifically said Central City and Kavaris. So, I'm assuming that it's just going to be in Kavaris. We're going to be farming a bunch of seasonal points there. We've still got the Crimson Realms and all of that stuff going on. So it's going to incentivize a lot of people to go out and PSE farm and just farm up a bunch of seasonal points. Now, as usual, of course, we are getting a seasonal shop. So there's going to be a bunch of goodies to purchase, as well as a new seasonal weapon. I do not think the seasonal weapon is going to be better than your Rayar weapon and all of that stuff. It might be marginally better, since you're going to be able to get a high fix on these weapons relatively easily. So, if you're using it for PSE bursting and the limited time quests and stuff like that, sure, the seasonal weapons will be great to use. But if you don't want to upgrade and you don't want to spend any resources on these seasonal weapons, just gear up your Rayar weapon and you're probably going to be fine. Now, while we're on the topic of this seasonal event, of course, there is the limited time quest Flurry of Flowers Cleanup Operation 2024. This is a rehash of the cleanup operation of 2023. However, they have added some starless enemies into this, and even the bosses at the very end, the Petal Storm, Thunder Bansher, and the Thunder Banshee, are the exact same bosses that we had last year. So yeah, I'm not super hyped about this. Sure, they're gonna buff the item drop rate and the loot and all of that stuff, but the limited time quest itself, if you played last year's Flurry of the Flowers Cleanup Operation, it's exactly the same. They just sprinkled in some starless enemies into it, and that's pretty much it. So in order to incentivize you to run the limited time quest over and over and over, of course, they have the Spring 2024 Special Scratch Ticket, which has a bunch of really nice cosmetic items. And of course, there's going to be Star Gems. So that's going to be the main incentive for me, of course, is because I want the Star Gems, so I'm going to be running it over and over. However, they have added a sort of soft pity system where you can now get some Spring 2024 Special Scratch Ticket vouchers. And if you collect 10 of these vouchers, you can exchange it for 1 one spring 2024 special scratch ticket. So they've added these voucher systems so that when you're running the limited time quest, you don't feel as bad as you're pretty much going to be guaranteed these vouchers. So worst case scenario, 10 runs equals one special scratch ticket. It's not great, but at least it's guaranteed. So this, I mean, I guess Sega sort of understands that, the drop rate for these special scratch tickets are way too low, and I think they're just scared of buffing it too much because they're afraid that people are going to grind super hard and just get like unlimited star gems. And so this is their way of adding a soft pity, I guess. Nevertheless, it's nice to see that we do have some sort of pity system now. The next thing I want to talk about is, of course, Duel Quest Phase 4. It is finally arriving on March 13th. And we do get to fight basically a starless version of Kelkundo. So for those who don't know, it's literally like the bouncer looking starless enemy. Its name is called Ring Wedge, very interesting name, but nevertheless, it's basically a starless Kelkundo, and it's super souped up and it can shoot like tornadoes and stuff at you. It's pretty cool. It seems like there is some sort of mechanic where you can steal its rings and kind of use it against it. So that is an interesting mechanic that we can see in the B-roll. I am going to be trying out this fight for sure when it comes out, but the reason why I want to do this fight is because there are going to be new capsules. There's a new capsule called the Glan Gigas Maste, which is going to be added to the exchange shop. So you're going to need to exchange your regular Gigas Mastes as well as the Fusia capsule that you get from Phase 4, smash them together in order to get the Glan Gigas Maste. Now, I don't know how much potency this is going to give you. I'm assuming it's probably going to give you 4%, 4.5%, somewhere along those lines. But nevertheless, this is something to grind for. So if you do have a ton of Gigas Mastes right now, you might want to sit on them for now. Or, if you want to farm for Gigas Mastes, it might be a good time to farm up a bunch of them and hoard them up so that when this comes out, you can craft and upgrade it and make these. And remember, these are sellable, so you can always sell them on the player market and make a lot of money. The next thing I want to talk about is, of course, the new SG Scratch Renewed Resilience. So as we all predicted, this is the Ina SG Scratch. So it looks pretty cool. The main item I'm going to be going for in this scratch is going to be the scratch count bonus prize emote Ready Stance 3 because it looks really awesome, but that's pretty much the only thing that I want from this scratch overall. The rest is just kind of bonus items. Now the SG Scratch out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is the new AC Scratch Echoes of Idola. They called it Idola, but I pronounce it Idola, so I don't know what's the correct pronunciation in English, but nevertheless, this is a scratch that I was very surprised to see, and I'm very happy to see it. But something that I'm really bummed out about this is actually all base PSO2 outfits and they're not NGS outfits. So if we look at the slide itself over here, it says Revival AC Scratch Ticket, Memories of Idola, and more. And we can see in the first paragraph, a revival collection of lots of PSO2 spec Idola Phantasy Star Sega collaboration items from the past AC Scratch items. So unfortunately, all of these are still going to remain in PSO2 spec. Like if you did play the game when it originally released like 4 years ago on the global side, you did get a chance to get all of these. I don't remember if they were free or not, but I do remember that I do have a couple of these outfits, but I don't know. I felt like it was a really missed opportunity to update all of these specs into NGS spec because I really like these outfits. I really like the weapon camos and all of the stuff revolving around this scratch. It's just a little bit of a shame that they didn't, put a little bit of that NGS magic to make things look nicer. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be the second limited time quest that is coming in the month of March, and it kicks in on March 27th, so it's like still miles away. But it is going to be based around LaCille exploration. I like the idea quite a bit actually. So it's an 8-player limited time quest, but it's based on LaCille exploration or LaCille itself. And so you gotta maneuver between all of these different rooms, kill all of these mobs, and the bosses at the very end are different every single run. So you don't get bored that quickly, at least. You kind of get a blast through all of this stuff relatively fun, and there's a big bad boss at the end that's different every single time. And of course, there's going to be a bunch of titles revolving around the limited time quest as well as limited time tasks to get you a bunch of materials and other goodies. Now, the next thing I want to touch upon is the operation report. I'm going to skip all of the dumb questions. There is one question that was particularly good over here, and that was talking about the preset skills. So you know how we have the item that allows us to add a level 1 preset skill or a level 1 fixa onto our weapons and armors, but the moment we add it on, we can't re-roll that with the same item. Well, they are looking into this, and they said that sometime in April or maybe May, they are going to be implementing a change which will allow us to re-roll an item over and over and over, so that you don't have to go through the pain that I went through where I got like 7 katanas with unwicks on them and I was just raging. And so you guys don't have to go through my pain of farming 7 gajillion of the same rare katana just to get the right fixa on it. And then the developers dropped the massive bomb over here, Dark Falz Dalion. This looks absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, it comes out in April, so you know, not this month, but next month. But it looks absolutely amazing. It gave me chills. The music was epic. The boss fight looks really challenging and looks really fun. So I can't wait to fight this. And yeah, so I'm super excited for this piece of content, but it comes out next month. Now, the next thing I want to talk about are campaigns that are kicking in tomorrow. Yes, we are getting a bunch of campaigns that kick in tomorrow. First is a rare drop rate plus 150% campaign. This is absolutely insane. I don't know why they're doing this. They might as well just permanently give us rare drop rate because of how many campaigns are shoving in our face to improve the rare drop rate, because they know the rare drop rate is a problem and they should fix this. But nevertheless, you know, we're getting this nice little campaign boost of 150%. They don't tell us how long it lasts, but it kicks in tomorrow, which is very nice. And then on top of that, there is a Rare Series Exchange Support Campaign Part 1, and this is absolutely insane. Basically, there's a bunch of limited time tasks. You finish all the limited time tasks, and you are given all the exchange materials needed to get your first Rare weapon. This is super duper nice. So basically, if you don't have a rare weapon, they're essentially giving you a freebie to get your rare weapon. So, you know, free 10-star, super easy. You guys should definitely pick it up if you don't have your rare weapon yet. And then on top of that, they are also going to be boosting all of the PSO2 day boosts next month. So on March 1st, basically we're getting an EXP earn plus 50% as well as a rare drop rate plus 100%, which looks pretty cool. I mean, you know, that's going to be able to stack on top of our, you know, rare drop rate plus 150% campaign, which is gonna be 250% total. That's actually pretty insane, because then you add in like your food buff, your alliance buff, your mag buff, and you're pretty much at like 300% pretty comfortably, or like maybe even 400%. So that is actually pretty good. I like this. But the boosts don't end there. There are more boosts coming in on March 13th. So that is not the coming week, that is next week. But nevertheless, we get a fixed drop rate plus 150% for the limited time quest. And this is the big kicker right here. Seasonal event weapon enhancement cost reduction campaign. Now, keep in mind, this is only for the seasonal weapons. All of these discounts are only for the seasonal weapon. When I first saw this, I was like, oh my god, this is insane, until I realized that it was only for seasonal weapons. But nevertheless, there's an enhancement success rate plus 90%. So it's 100% chance of getting a great success. Then we have an augmentation success rate plus 10%, a preset skill enhancement success rate plus 10%, and 50% discount on all enhancement meseta costs. So this is absolutely crazy. It's super crazy good, but it only applies to seasonal weapons. So I don't know. I mean, it's nice, but it's only for seasonal weapons. So I'm a little bit bummed because of that. If it was for everything, I would be a lot more excited. But whatever, you know, it's good stuff. It's allowing a lot of people to gear up really quickly and for very minimum cost, so we'll take it. But Sega redeems himself with the PSO2 Global 4th Anniversary login rewards over here. You literally just need to log in after March 6th and you get all of these nice goodies. You get a really cool looking weapon camo, you get 2 End Master Cubes, 5 End Augmentation success rate plus 20%. If you're free to play, you know how valuable these are. You get 5 preset skill enhanced success rate plus 15%. This is the Fixa enhances. That's also very valuable. You get 5 add preset skills level 1. You get 10 special scratch tickets and 200 star gems. Overall, really fantastic deal. You don't need to do anything. You literally just log in and you get all of these goodies. So this is really, really good stuff. And the last announcement that sent me over the moon is of course the next collaboration with Rurouni Kenshin. This looks absolutely amazing, and you know, they recently did a rerun of the anime, by the way, or the remake of the anime. If you guys haven't watched that, highly recommend. But I love that this whole samurai theme, you know, this collaboration is basically based for all of my braver players out there. We're getting Kenshin's trademark Sakabato as a weapon camo, so that's like his reverse blade thing. So that is absolutely crazy, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm a braver main. How can I not be excited about this? So yes, I'm going to be dropping some money on this, or maybe I'll just buy everything off the market if the prices are reasonable, which I highly doubt. But nevertheless, I'm happy that type 1 characters are going to have a lot of love with this collaboration, because you know, everyone kind of wants to cosplay as the main character, which is really, you know, kind of makes sense. But nevertheless, I'm excited for this collaboration. Now, this collaboration doesn't come out till April, you know, everyone hold your horses. It comes out in April, not in March, but nevertheless, I'm excited, okay? I really was not expecting this collaboration, and it's based around bravers and katanas and stuff, so I'm happy. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.